Hello and welcome to the Hospitality Twins podcast. I'm Jerry Reyes.
And I'm Ramon Reyes. Tourism offers us an opportunity to visit new places and experience new and exciting attractions.
But it's the people within the hospitality industry that make these experiences unique and memorable.
We look forward to shedding light on the talented people who make the hospitality industry special.
And also to providing coaching and career tips to those seeking to join our industry. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Hospitality Twins. We are excited today to have Jazmyn Mackie with us. And as I introduce her, she's got a wide array of things that she does. She's a student at the University of New Orleans in the hospitality or the hotel, restaurant, and tourism program, festival booth manager for My Mama's House Chicken and Waffles, and director of special events for Turk Sports. And that was definitely a mouthful. You got a lot going on, Jazmyn, but we're excited and pleased to have you with us. We have been looking forward to this conversation, and why don't we get started by just asking you to share a little bit more about yourself with our listeners and why you have such a great passion for hospitality.
Okay, sure. And I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for inviting me today. When Mr. Reyes invited me last week, I was beyond excited because during this quarantine pandemic, I guess, I really found a new passion and love for podcasts. So, I'm just super excited to be here and thank you again. So a little bit about me. I'm currently a junior at the University of New Orleans, where I am pursuing my undergraduate degree in hotel, restaurant, and tourism administration. But I think we know it as HRT. And I guess, this passion for the industry started back in sixth grade. I was giving a writing assignment to do a career that I was interested in. And at the time, I only knew about my immediate family's career paths. And that was my mom. She was in banking as a community development mortgage lender. My dad was a roofing contractor. And one of my aunts was a stenographer in the medical field. None of those roads or pathways didn't really speak out to me. Then I remembered that one of my aunts that lived in Atlanta was a wedding planner. Now, she wasn't really a wedding planner, but in my sixth grade mind, I thought she was because her title was Director of Special Events and Meetings at the Ritz-Carlton. And then a few years later, my parents opened a restaurant, My Mama's House of Cornbread Chicken and Waffles, and I got to see the food and beverage side of the industry. So I guess that, coupled with that writing assignment of me shadowing her, really opened my eyes to the industry, and that's why I'm here today.
Oh, look, that's fantastic. And Ramon and I share kind of some of your story, and that we went to UNO and we were in the HRT program, and we're definitely excited always when there are individuals who share that passion. And you, obviously, as you expressed, it started from a very, very young age. And we should all be so lucky to be exposed to such a great industry at such a young age. But we appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Jazmyn, giving us a little bit of glimpse into the background there. And seems like you've had a desire to be in hospitality and, more importantly, serve others from for a while now, which is great. And certainly it's great to see that you're making your way into our industry here. And next, just switching gears, I want to talk about your time at Warren Easton. So you're a graduate of Warren Easton's Academy of Hospitality and Tourism, and now a current board member, which we'll get to here in a second. But this topic is near and dear for me because I was, while in high school, I was also a student of the Academy of Travel and Tourism, albeit at West Jefferson High School there in Louisiana as well. And I really feel like that program positioned me for success into the future. So even as a high school student, similar to you, I knew where I wanted to go, but this program really opened my eyes, allowed me to really be exposed to some things within the industry that really have stuck with me up until today. So it's great for you to have participated in the program, but more importantly, also to give back and be back there as a current board member. Can you share a little bit about the program at Warren Eastern with our listeners and what it meant to you to be part of that program?
Sure, yes. I just want to start off by saying, I totally agree with you. It's definitely a phenomenal program. And, a little bit more about it. It's so Warren Easton partners with NAF, and NAF is a pathway program that helps high schoolers get college, career, and future ready. Being at Warren Easton, we currently have the only distinguished academy of hospitality and tourism in the state of Louisiana. It's and that was kind of alarming to me because, we live in such a hospitality mecca, and it being tourism is one of our top economic drivers. And, like you said, being in this pathway, it really opened my eyes to careers I never imagined. And I recently was listening to one of your podcasts, and one of your previous guests said that before they got in the industry, they just assume hotels and rooms, you stay overnight, and that's it for hotels. But the program really opened my eyes to other positions like GMs, special events, accounting, engineering, sanitation, public relations, and the list just goes on and on. And I would have to say one of the greatest benefits that I took away from the program was mock interviews. So that's when Mr. Letlow partnered with many industry professionals in the New Orleans area, and they sat down with each student, and we had to you just do an interview with them as if we were on a job. And shortly after those interviews, I applied for the Greater New Orleans Hotel Lodging Association scholarship. And one of the a part of the application was to interview with a panel. And I was just so ready, and many of the executives of the organization commended me on how polished and prepared, and just all around how great the interview went. And I always contributed back to Warren Easton and that program that just opened my eyes to many things that I still use today, like that interview process.
It's certainly encouraging to hear that the program took you through that. It is so important, not only that interview process, those mock interviews, and to be able to present yourself in the best manner possible, but also just the process of building a resume, which I'm sure was part of that program as well. I was fortunate to have that during my time with the Academy of Travel and Tourism as well. Not only building a resume, the mock interviews, certainly opening your eyes. There's so many similarities here. I even learned how to do my taxes in this program. There was so much that prepared me for that next step coming out of high school, going into high school, and similar to you, being better prepared to articulate why I was passionate about the industry and how much value I could add to the industry. Definitely, kudos to you for certainly seeing your way through that program, going back and supporting even other students that are there. How did the board membership come to be, if I may ask as well?
I provide my alumni perspective. So I relay, areas that went well in the program, describe challenges I may be facing currently at a university, post-secondary education, so that, they can improve or, prepare those high schoolers that want to pursue higher education, and those steps that they can take now in the program. And, it just feels good to be able to give back even a small amount to my beloved high school and this program that I love so much.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow. I'm sure this is something that's going to stick with you for a long time. And I say that because I speak from experience. My teacher through the course of my program was Miss Jocelyn Frank. And I was just talking to her today. And so, and this is, after having over 20 years in the industry, and I'm still having conversations with the person that mentored me and took me through this program. So I think what you're doing and going back and sort of providing that counsel to them and letting them know what you're going through coming out of their program and how it's prepared you, or where there are gaps, as you make your way through college, is extremely impactful and beneficial to anyone else that comes behind you. So again, really, I applaud you for that. I think it's great.
Yeah, Jazmyn, I have had the benefit of also being a new board member, albeit I've been on the board now for about 2 or 3 months. And I can tell you that it is amazing to be a part of. I've had the opportunity to sit with several of the students, and I can tell you that I've been amazed by the passion that the students have had, by the ideas that they've had, and also the level of understanding that at the high school level they already have for the hospitality industry. So I think that it is something that's making the future of our industry bright. It is opening the doors of our industry to so many more people. I can only hope that the program continues to grow and that other schools start to implement similar programs. And I know that it is in other schools, of course, but we can grow this so much more, especially in a city like the city of New Orleans. This can provide a path, a career path to so many more than it already is. But I've had the opportunity to sit in the class and observe and see the level of interaction that they have with the program, the curriculum that they've gone through, and it is amazing because it's stuff that I would want to put my associates through here at the hotel. So it's amazing to see that level of interaction and that level of growth and learning happening at the high school level. So kudos to you, as Ramon mentioned, for being a part of this program and helping to tweak it, helping to make sure that it's fine tuned. But I want to jump into kind of my next question here. And as I mentioned, am a new member of the board. And because of that, I had the great benefit of being at the recent graduation of the Warren Easton Academy of Hospitality and Tourism. And that's where I met you. I had the opportunity to listen to you speak, and I appreciated the passion with which you spoke. And I'd love if you could share a little bit of what you shared with the graduates, with our listeners today.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Reyes, for your kind words. It was just so humbling to be able to go back and speak to students who were sitting in the same seat I was not too long ago. And, I just really wanted the students to understand that they have a lot of opportunities because of their involvement and all the work that they have been putting into the academy. And as I mentioned earlier, we live in a hospitality mecca. That was one of the top destinations in the world back in 2018. And in this industry, there's a lot of high paying jobs, but I don't see many people of color in those leadership roles. And I think it's important that the hospitality industry in New Orleans start to mirror the residents that live here. And the Warren Easton Academy is preparing a workforce that will soon be able to fill these positions in the near future. And it was just so refreshing to hear your address and title, Mr. Reyes, General Manager of the Westin New Orleans. It was not only refreshing, but inspiring. And I just can't believe I'm on a podcast with two people of color who are blood brothers, twins at that, and both senior leaders in the hospitality industry. And, just to go back to the reflection I shared with the students last week, I just wanted to make sure the students heard about the many possibilities that await them. Because oftentimes, it's easy to face it, we don't always hear a message from our parents and instructors. But when we get a peer of our own age or close to it, we may give it a second here. So I just hope that that message really got across to the students in the audience last week.
Wow. Well, look, I can tell you that it resonated with me. You had me on the edge of my seat because I was moved by what you were saying. And as I mentioned earlier, you're just at the beginning of your career, and I see great things in your future because you understand the industry, you understand what it takes. And most of all, I definitely appreciated the fact that you were communicating to these students that, and I may be messing up the words or the order of the words, but how you described the shades of the industry or the shades of hospitality needing to match our city. And I think that is something that that resonated with me as well. You mentioned it. Ramon and I are fortunate enough to have risen to a role of general manager. It takes work, obviously, and it takes a passion, but the door is definitely open to all of those that seek it. And I think it's important to make sure that people know that this is a career that can be built through hard work and dedication and a passion. And I hope and I believe that those students in that room heard you, and I know that it resonated with me.
And I'll tell you, the word that stands out the most, and Jerry used it, you've used it as well, is passion. I can sense, Jazmyn, your passion come through as you speak. And I wasn't as fortunate as Jerry to be in the room when you were addressing, the class there. But I can only deduce just by hearing you speak today that I'm sure they were just as inspired on the edge of their seat, just as Jerry was. So really proud of you to certainly go back and contribute there, but certainly to always work to reach back and inspire others and pull more along with you so that they have a similar journey. And I think you're exactly right. New Orleans is the mecca of travel. I mean, that city lives and breathes hospitality. And we're fortunate to have so many people be in that city that almost have this innate ability. They're born with it. You listen to that word, that phrase, Southern hospitality. People there just truly live and breathe it, and it is a career that could be extremely rewarding for many. And so, I'm sure your message and certainly what you've been able to do as part of that program speaks to that and letting people know, hey, look, there's a career here. You can not only carve out a career here, but you can have a great time in this industry. If you enjoy serving others, if you enjoy learning more about other people and cultures and meeting people from all around the world, this is the industry for you. And so I think that you should be extremely proud of what you've accomplished. And so it seems like you've worked to carve out your own path. And again, Jerry mentioned this. You're at the early stages here, but even being at the early stages, you've been able to run your own lemonade stand and accomplish so much already. What's motivated you to own your own stand at that time, and how would you say that has impacted what drives you today?
Sure. Well, it all started back when Raising Cane started their annual Lemonade Day. So my brother and my little cousin, we all got together and we said, hey, why not? So we did our first lemonade stand. In the first year, we used my aunt's recipe. And then throughout the months to follow that, leading to the second one, we started to craft our own recipe, and we took it very seriously. We took the business seriously. And in the second year, many of the guests or the people that came and tried the lemonade said how amazing it was and where they can get it year round. So that's when we decided to partner with My Mama's House of Cornbread, Chicken, and Waffles. And we currently, to this day, we still sell it in the Pythian location. And we are looking to bottle it and sell it to major retailers in the local area.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
So that
I've,
was
I've got to try it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the strawberry lemonade at the restaurant. It's,
I'm gonna have to go by the Pythian and check that out.
That is fantastic. That is
the name of
fantastic.
it is LJ squared. So my cousin's Lauren, and then my name is Jazmyn, and my brother's name is Jordan. So it's the L, the J, and then the J squared. Oh, to go to your second question, I believe it impacted me because my parents, they're serial entrepreneurs. They both have many businesses, and I'm actually a third generation business owner. Being an entrepreneur, it was kind of given to me at birth. It was set in my mind at birth. And it helped me to appreciate that I can't put all my eggs in one basket, in a sense. It helped me to see that, it's important to have multiple revenues of income. And, just all goes back to that foundation that my parents and grandparents instilled in me.
That is awesome. Like, that's so great to hear. And as Jerry mentioned, we're gonna have to try this lemonade. But I hope I am doing just as great of a job as your parents have done with you with my kids, because they clearly have
Definitely.
instilled in you, a drive and this focus on just growth and making yourself successful. So it seems like it comes from there, but part of it seems like is your heart as well. Your heart is definitely in this and serving other people. So thank you for sharing.
No, but Jazmyn, let me also commend you for, again, not only starting your own business, but growing it. It still sounds like it's continuing to grow, and that's fantastic. Again, a testament to the passion that you are putting into anything that you do. So, again, echo what Ramon says, but I wish I've had the opportunity to meet your parents briefly, and I can honestly say that they've done a fantastic job, and you are definitely an example of a hospitality professional all around. Let me move on to our next question here. And this is something that's near and dear to both Ramon and I. You are a product of the University of New Orleans. Ramon and I are as well. We studied at UNO. We actually both went back to UNO and got our master's in HRT. And I actually teach at UNO in the master's program now. So it's a place that's near and dear to me, near and dear to Ramon as well. But given your experience thus far in the industry, how do you feel that the University of New Orleans and that hospitality, that HRT program has prepared you or is preparing you for success?
Yeah, so, there's such a vast amount of resources provided to the students that are a part of the HRT program. And especially the professor's passion for what they're teaching. For example, Dr. Bridget Borderline, I took her class actually 2 times, 2 semesters ago. And you can feel it when she's teaching how much she cares and loves the hospitality and tourism industry. And that really rubs off on the students, because I'm coming home like super excited and trying to relay all this knowledge to my parents, and my brother and cousin who I'm in business with for lemonade. So that's definitely one thing. And another thing, actually, back last semester, I took food production with Chef Mark, assisted by Chef Mike. And that was like literally one of my favorite classes I've taken so far. It really provides firsthand experience in the kitchen. And, I think it's so important to know your way around the kitchen, especially being in the industry, because food and beverage is such a huge part of it.
Of course.
And oh yeah, and and like I mentioned earlier, when I share my learnings with my family and about to help them with the restaurant and lemonade business, it's kind of all full circle. And also the university helps me to see that there's no job in hospitality industry, big or small. And it's all because of the education provided me by the NAF program at Warren Easton and UNO that has prepared me for what's to come ahead.
Wow, that's fantastic. And we're hearing a lot of familiar names, Ramon and I. We also took classes with Dr. Bordelon as well
Yeah.
in the master's program. And as I mentioned, now, I have the good fortune to be able to teach there and interact with those professors. And it's great to hear that they've had an impact on what you do and even what you bring to your parents and their businesses. And so it's amazing to hear that impact. And it's something that we're so fortunate to have here in our city. The impact of having the ability to learn your way around a kitchen. It's so important to have a wealth of knowledge of all of the moving parts within a hotel, right? We've got culinary, we've got the front office, we've got housekeeping, we've got guest services, and all of those components together, make for a successful hotel. And knowing your way around the kitchen is definitely a big component within that. I remember when Ramon and I were doing our undergrad at the University of New Orleans, we used to have these culinary experience events, and where we would cook, and there would be a team that served, there would be a team that managed, and that experience was fantastic for me, having the ability to basically run a business within the university and be able to learn from the pluses, the minuses, the areas of opportunity. Those are still things that I think about today. So I think the program is fantastic, and I'm glad again that you benefited from it, as well as the NAF and obviously the program at Warren Easton as well. I believe all of those are beneficial to our industry as a whole. So I'm glad that you are one of those perfect examples of that.
Before we close here, I want to take the opportunity to let our listeners know where to find you, Jazmyn. Can they find you on LinkedIn? Can they find you on Facebook? And if so, how would they go about finding you? What is your so to speak handle on LinkedIn or Facebook?
Sure, yes. So my handle on LinkedIn is just my name, Jazmyn, Jazmyn Mackie, and my handle should come up.
Jazmyn, we cannot thank you enough for taking time to share your story with us. And I am sure, just as Jerry mentioned, as he was inspired, as he was sitting at the audience there at the graduation, I'm sure our listeners will be inspired by yours. And we hope that whether it be someone that's a student right now, looking to follow in your path, or someone that hasn't decided, that's in college and hasn't decided what career is of choice for them, that they listen to your story and the positives that you found and the passion that you have, and look to our industry as well as a possible home for them. So thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for taking part in this conversation with us today.